Hello and welcome to my fourth and final Q&A of this little mini-series. The next vlog you see will be the day before going on holiday, in which I'm packing up and getting ready to leave, and also my dad's going to collect me from here in the evening. Then we're going to travel on to IB's via a supermarket to just pick up a few Munchables to have at IB's in the evening and during the travel day. But in the meantime, I've got the last of the questions. I've been printing them out. I'm thinking, I'm such a dinosaur vlogger. When you watch the younger vloggers, they got it all on their phone. Thing is, they're all mixed up in the comments section, so I thought, well, I'd rather have them all in one place. That all the 20-year-olds will be going, just paste it into notes or something, I don't know, or whatever it is people do, which I haven't done, right. Anyway, so I have got couple of pages with the questions again. I thought I'd finished my little mini series off, and then I kind of mistimed asking for more questions, and then a load more came in last night after I'd finished filming them, so I'm doing a fourth video, which suits me because I would have had to have missed an upload otherwise, so at least there's a video instead of no video. So here's the first question from Dean Hopkins. Dean says, would you ever do a video in Bridgend Outlet Centre? Do you know what? I'm trying to rack my brains and think if I did. I even went onto my content and did a search by the name of the outlet centre, and I can't find anything, but I've got a feeling I have. I've got over 1,500 vlogs on my channel now, and I can't find things. I can't remember what's in what, and if it wasn't clearly labelled, which it probably wouldn't have been, I can't find it. So I might have done one, but I don't know where it is. But if I ever go again, I will most certainly vlog it. Yes, that is exactly the sort of thing I would vlog. I have got no plans to go there exactly at the moment, but if I do, I'll definitely vlog it. It's the sort of place we do pop by from time to time when we're having little outings and things. IB quite likes to go and have a mooch around those sort of places because he likes to look in places like Mountain Warehouse and the rugged outdoorsy clothing sections. I think those are like his favourite shops. I don't know if you'd agree, but I think so. Here's the next question from a regular viewer, Joshua Jeffrey. He's asked me, what is the best holiday I've ever been on? And I had a little think because I've enjoyed all my holidays pretty much. There was one pretty ropey one in central Spain somewhere where it rained all week. I can't even remember the name of the place. That was before I was vlogging, so it was a long time ago. It definitely wasn't that one. But we did have one when I was still home educating. We went to Rhodes. IB was unable to come, but my dad was able to come, and we had a full 2 weeks on this Greek island. It was October, I think. The weather was unseasonably warm. It was beautiful hot sunny weather. Where we were staying, it was literally 5 minutes walk from a really secluded beach where pretty much nobody was apart from the other people staying at the hotel. We had lovely neighbours, an elderly couple called Eric and Brenda, and they were so nice. He was a retired engineer. She might have been a retired musician. She was a musician, a church organist. I don't know if that had been her day job, but they were just so lovely. So we kind of checked in with them every day, you know. They'd be on their little balcony, we'd be next to them. It wasn't really balcony because it was ground floor. And it was just so lovely. The sea was warm every evening. It was like getting back into a warm bath. You know, like if you ever need to get out of a bath for whatever reason, somebody knocks on the door or something, or someone's forgotten their key or something, you have to get back in your bath. It was like getting back in a bath. So it wasn't like getting in a hot bath, it was like getting back into a bath that you'd already got out of, kind of thing. And in the day, Izzy and Dad just got up to so much stuff together. Had 2 solid weeks of swimming in the swimming pool, trying out snorkels. We saw some historic sites, but we just did a lot of not very much, which was very relaxing. It was very chilled out. Yeah, so I think that was our favourite one in Rhodes, which is going back a long time. It was before I was vlogging, so it's more than 7 years ago. Z was quite little. Joshua Jeffrey also asks, when you're gigging, how do you know when to start playing and when to stop playing? I hope you could answer both questions. Well, I certainly can. Different ways, really. I mean, normally somebody will count in if we're all starting together, but if we're in a Kaylee situation, one person does a little introduction, so they don't need counting in, they just Mick or whoever's calling will sort of show that he's ready, and then Guy or Sel or me or whoever's doing the introduction, we just start, and because we're used to it, we know what speed to do, and the introduction's a certain length, and everybody just knows how long it is and they know when to come in. So there's that. So either a count in or somebody does an introduction. And stopping, well, it's not a straightforward, easy answer. I mean, if we were doing a set piece of music, like in classical music, for example, you'd just know when the end was because you'd run out of sheet music. You know, you'd get to region the end of it and that would be the end of it. But it's not like that for us. In our Kaylee band, the caller is in charge of telling us when they've had enough. For example, he might do a dance where every couple, say there's 4 couples in the dance, every dance couple dances it once through. And then if they're really going through it, he might think, do you know what, they've all got enough energy to go again. So it might be 8 times through instead of 4 times through. So we don't necessarily know, but he'll let us know. He'll turn around and he'll go like, 2 more times. And so we know we've got 2 more times through the tune or something like that, or 1 more time, or last time. And so he lets us know. And then we all know when we're coming towards the end of like a repetition of the tune, we all know to look around at each other. And usually in our band, Guy or Sal will say up or end or something. And quite often, like if somebody can't hear, one of us will put our foot up in the air as a visual sign for everybody to know that this is coming to the end. So we know where the end of the repetition is, and that's the time to stop. And in the pub band, again, like for example, if we're doing, say for example, Cotton Eye Joe, whenever we do Cotton Eye Joe, every time people get up off their seats and they start dancing in the pub, it just triggers them. It's like, I was thinking to myself, we need a whole set of Cotton Eye Joe. It's like, I think if we can get every single one like that gets people on their feet, we'd be on to a winner. So I'm going to put some thought into that actually. But like quite often, like if they're really enjoying it, we'll just do another couple of choruses and another bit of dee-dee-dee-dee-dee-dee on the fiddle and just keep them going because they're really enjoying it and we can see that they're not ready to stop. But then if they're starting to look like, oh, they're a bit tired after being on the dance floor, we'll be like, we'll just look at each other and we'll go, right, okay. And somebody does a cue to stop, and so we know that way. Or if they're really enjoying it and we've run out of all the Cotton Eye Joe we can do, we might put some reels in, some Irish tunes to the same beat to keep them dancing for longer if they look like they're enjoying it. So that was a very good question, and I bet you didn't know it was going to be such a not straightforward answer. The next question is from Donnie. Donnie's weekend van life travel. I met Donnie down in Penarth. You might remember he gave us a little van tour of his lovely van Jenny down in Penarth back earlier in the year. Donnie is an experienced singer as well. He's done many a gig, solo artist with backing tracks, so he's also kind of well up on the whole musical side of things. And he asks me, what is your favourite folk song to perform and what's your favourite non-folk song, i.e. pop tune? From Donnie. And I had a little think about this, and it changes, you know, quite often it depends on what I've been working on recently. Like when I'm just learning a song and I'm just getting to grips with it, there's a real novelty to it for me, if you know what I mean. So at the moment, I'd say my favourite folk song to do is the one that I was working on for last Friday's gig, which was called, what was it called? Reel in the Flickering Light, I think it was called. It's a version of it by Christy Moore. I'm not sure who wrote it. But it's a very funny and witty song, and I worked on backing vocals for that, and because it was so fresh and new and exciting, I was really enjoying singing it. Actually, after all that, after all those hours of working it out and practice and all that and fine-tuning it, it was decided on the night, because I'd missed the last rehearsal and nobody had had a chance to go through it with the harmonies, it was best to do it without the harmonies for this time through rather than get distracted by them and risk making a mistake on stage. So actually, I haven't done it yet, but I sure will, because I'm going to make sure that we get that in the set. In the new year sometime, next time we come round to playing together again. So that one at the moment, Reel in the Flickering Light. It's a very funny song, very, very funny lyrics. And the favourite pop song at the moment, I'd say probably, that's a funny face, sorry. It's my thinking face. But we've been working on a number of things in the pub band, but then we had a massive hiatus because we've all just been working on so many other things. We haven't really got around to having a lot of rehearsals until recently, brushing up the Christmas stuff. But I was quite enjoying doing Coldplay, Adventure of a Lifetime, although I'm not actually singing that, I'm playing the flute. But we started working on it, we nearly got it up to sort of level to start gigging it out, and then we just didn't have any gigs for a while. We've been gigging, well, I've been doing loads of gigs as you've seen, but just not with that band. So we need to brush that up a bit and hopefully get that in the next gig. So those are those two, and I must admit I did enjoy singing Do They Know It's Christmas last year at a pub gig when we were asked to do loads of Christmas songs. And what I find is when I'm learning songs to sing, I kind of get curious about them and I start looking them up on YouTube late at night and I find out stuff about them. And there's a whole like 1980s series on YouTube, if you search for it, the making of Do They Know It's Christmas, and it's quite fly on the wally, and I thought it was very well made actually, and it was kind of interesting to see that and see all the characters that were there at the age that they were at the time they made it. So yes, that's my answer to that. A very random answer. Oh, I'm enjoying doing Gaudete now that I've lowered the key slightly because it was a bit high for me before. It's a lovely, punchy, powerful one with nostalgia to it. So yeah, I do enjoy doing that one. I think that counts as a folk song. Right then, the next question is from Natasha. Now this was a lovely compliment. I loved this. It was a boost to the self-esteem. So thank you very much, Natasha. Natasha says, I'd love to know how you got into vlogging and how you learned about editing and which software to use. I'm a television editor and I'm always impressed by how beautifully put together your vlogs are. But obviously I've spent nearly 30 years learning the ropes and I assume you are self-taught. Yes, I am self-taught. I came across a channel called 8 Miles From Home when I was Googling moving to Portugal. It's a long story. Ages ago I was thinking about moving to Portugal with my daughter to help her skin condition improve, basically. Didn't happen. Logistics. But in the process of searching that, I came across my first ever vlogging channel that I'd ever seen, and it was them, and I instantly knew that I wanted to do that from that moment on till my dying day. I was like, that's it. I've been waiting my whole life to find out what vlogging was and take it up, basically. And they were a lot more cinematic style when they first started, and they're a lot less cinematic style. Well, I haven't watched, they're doing Japan vlogs at the moment. I haven't been watching them actually. They've changed their style recently, but the style that they were doing back then in Portugal about 7 or 8 years ago was exactly up my street, as it were. So they inspired me. So that's what got me into vlogging. So that's the first bit of the question. How did I learn about editing? Well, I read a book first called How to Shoot Video That Doesn't Suck. Advice to Make Any Amateur Look Like a Pro by Steve Stockman, which I downloaded as an ebook from Amazon. I don't know if it's still available. I had a little look earlier just to remind myself of the name to tell you it, and it wasn't available. And that kind of got me started. It was I found it very, very stimulating to read. I found it very exciting. I use Premiere Pro, Adobe Premiere Pro, which you pay for with a monthly subscription. It's about 20 quid a month for that one. So it's not the cheapest. Apparently DaVinci Resolve does everything it does and is less glitchy and is free. But I decided to go for Adobe Premiere Pro because apparently it's the industry standard. And so I thought if I learned that one, I could potentially collaborate on other editing projects in the future and have it like as, I don't know, a toolbox professionally, like career-wise. So that's why I chose the industry standard one. So hopefully you're not going to say, oh no, it's not, we never heard of it. But that's the impression I have anyway. And I taught myself to use it by trial and error every time. So I started off with Adobe Premiere Elements, which was a lot more basic, like a lot more basic. So when I made the switch to the more advanced one, I was completely bewildered, and every time I needed to do anything, I basically Googled how to do it and watched tutorials mostly on YouTube on how to do every single thing as they came up. And that's how I learnt it, bit by bit by bit by bit. When I first switched, I couldn't even crop or pan or, oh, it was horrible. But I'm very interested in lighting and colour correction. I don't know about colour grading. I don't do it as much as I would like to because with the daily turnaround it's just impossible, but my interest was really piqued about being a colourist. But when I looked at the career pathway to becoming one, I don't know if you can do it specifically. I think you have to learn a load of other stuff that maybe I wasn't interested in as well, so I haven't done it. But anyway, yeah, I am interested in that. I think that answers the question. Kitchen worker. This is Jan, this is. I happen to know the kitchen worker's name is Jan. She asks, she says, I have a question, Imo. How is your flute? Since the flute man took a look at it, you haven't said anything about it being better or worse. Enjoy your holiday. I certainly will enjoy my holiday. Thank you, Jan. I mentioned it very briefly. I said, it's okay. And then I moved on to something else. So I did say it, but if you'd have blinked, you'd have missed it. Or if like your phone beeped or something, you would have missed it. It was like that brief. It's okay. It's okay. It's the best it's been since before it broke, definitely, and so I've got a new lease of life of playing. I do hear a bit of click on the mechanism, so next time I go to Lisbon I'll take it to Uncle Domingos Cairo, my favourite flute fixer, and let him have it for a fortnight because he'll do a real intensive thorough job on it, and it'll cost me probably close to 400 euros, but it will be singing like a bell. But no, that said, the guy did a very good job on it in a very short space of time. He fixed all the problems. It ain't broke. It ain't broke. It's good. It's doing me well. It is 100% playable, which it 100% wasn't before. I've got 2 more questions left. Mind you, I'll have a little check, see if any more came in on my phone before I clear up, because things are still popping up as I film this. Ala Butak. Oh, I wonder if I pronounced that right. Apologies if not. Hi Imo, great video. I hope this is not late, but I have a question for the Q&A. Who is your favourite singer or band? Right. Whenever anybody asks me anything about what my favourite is, I just have to say, well, it changes all the time. So I'm just pulling up my Spotify and I'm going to rattle off some names of bands I've been enjoying listening to lately. Who have we got here then? I do like BREABACH. They are a Scottish band. I'll stand over to one side so I can put a list on there. I'll write them all in the description. I'll put the band names in the description for anybody who wants to go and look them all up one by one and see if they are their cup of tea or not. So BREABACH from Scotland. I've been recently listening to In Echo. I think they're from Canada, another trad band. I really enjoyed those. I came across them totally by accident on somebody's Facebook feed the other day. She said she'd been enjoying listening to them, so I looked them straight away up on Spotify and thought, oh yeah, that's my cup of tea. RURA, I think they're Scottish. Who's this now then? Some of these I haven't listened to a lot of, so I don't want to say until I've listened properly, because a lot of them I've lined up to, you know, check out if I like them or not. CALLUM Stewart, Piper. I enjoy his music. I've been listening to PLUM Hall. I noticed that they were lined up to play in the Costa del Folk Festival. I just happened to notice it on Instagram, so I thought, oh, click on their link, see what they're like. I thought, yeah, very pleasant to listen to indeed. I really like Le Vent du Nord. They're a French-Canadian band, very good. If anyone's ever heard of La Boutin Souriant, they're a sort of further incarnation of there. Treacherous Orchestra is quite good fun. I listen to them on walks sometimes. There's a massive big band that plays sort of traditional music, but you know, with drum kit and super fast and exciting. I think they're like a late night folk festival jumping around band. That's the audience doing that. GNOSS, I don't know if it's GNOSS or NOSS, it's spelled G-N-O-S-S, absolutely love their music. I like Flook. I've got some stuff from FINNEGAN here, BANJO 3, TÉADA. MALIN makes music. I've recently come across MALIN makes music on a YouTube interview somewhere and instantly loved everything by that band. There's a few to get you going. I mean, that is the absolute tip of the iceberg really, from trad. Trad meaning traditional. Last one on my printout, and then I'll have a little check, see if any more came in, which is from Tracy. She asks, how is Izzy getting on at college? So Izzy's at university. Well, I mean, she's getting on all right, but she reckons the course content has changed since she applied for it. She was expecting it to be a lot more practical based than academic based, with a lot more contact hours, and she has found that she's doing a lot more academic than practical, and she's a bit worried that she's not going to learn the practical skills that she needs for the industry that she wishes to work in. However, she's recently, because of just total being in the right time at the right place, applied for this thing and got it. So now she is doing a lot of practical experience and learning practical skills whilst living at university in the local area of the university. So I think things have upped on the not doing enough practical work front. I think it's gone from the sublime to the ridiculous, to be honest. She's probably worn out. But yeah, she's getting on, she's embracing it well. She's making, you know, study plans for herself and taking it all very seriously. Yeah, she's made some nice friends there. She's sorted out her accommodation already to stay on campus for next year as well, so she's obviously intending to stick it out at the moment. Anyway, right, let me just have a little check now. Has anybody else commented with a question? No, they haven't. So that means I'm going to officially end this Q&A series, and do you know what I'm going to do now? Film a shopping vlog, which you will either have seen it or you won't, but it will have been up since last Tuesday. That's the plan anyway. I haven't filmed it yet, but I've got a shopping list. I've made a start on my packing as well, so I'm so excited. So yeah, I'll see you for tomorrow's vlog, and that's gonna be like packing and getting ready to go. I can't believe it's so close. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please give it a like if you happen to like it, subscribe down below to watch more videos from me, and I will see you in the next video.